Sunrise morning, such a pretty sight. Pink clouds drifting, pushing back the night. Sunrise morning, I predicted rain. Never dreaming the sun would shine again. Last night I couldn't sleep away. All I could do was think and wish we'd never said goodbye. At dawn, you called me on the phone, said you were coming home, and suddenly I knew, girl, my world begins with you at sunrise. You called me on the phone, said you were coming home, and suddenly I knew, girl, my world begins with you at sunrise. At sunrise morning, I predicted rain. Never, ever dreaming the sun would shine again. Sunrise. So the grass grows greener for you down a nameless
Ta-da! Welcome, everybody. Wednesday night, Role-Playing Unlimited out of character. We're so glad you decided to spend the next hour or so, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, with us, the RU crew, and special guest, CJ Dusty right there. Looks like he's got a whopper of a catch in his hands, coming to us live from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. How you doing, my friend?
Good. It's cold up here.
I bet. We're just starting to get some cooler temperatures here in Vegas, but it is definitely far from its coldest. Still got another month and a half or so, I feel, before we're seeing some true Vegas cold, which ain't much. Also, we have Evil Dawn, as always, and the J-Man himself, out of character, of course, so we are not seeing the Earl setup tonight. Sorry, Hans Loves D&D. I know you wanted to see it, but you're going to have to hold off a few more days till we get the Agent Orange campaign going again. Everybody loves Earl. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, See, I'm using the to make CJ feel, at home.
Yeah, that's great.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, here we have an idea that Evil Dawn put together for one of our out-of-character sessions, which was the Superfan Spotlight. And there was nobody else that we could even consider for the first go other than CJ. He's been super entertaining in our chat logs. He does his own streaming. He's super supportive of Role-Playing Unlimited in general. And we're super glad to have him here tonight. And we're going to talk to him about some of what he likes about Role Playing Unlimited, and we're also going to talk to him about his own streaming experiences and just kind of streaming life in general. We haven't really had anybody who streams on the show itself.
Yeah, and first of all, what games do you usually stream, CJ?
Just survival games. I've only done really days, and then I started a series of The Long Dark trying to get there's an achievement for surviving 500 in-game days, so I'm trying a series on that, but I only do that once a week. I do want to add some other games like Stranded Deep, and I heard The Forest is good, so I want to look into that. Trying to keep it around the survival genre of games. That's what I really enjoy.
Do you get a lot of feedback from your viewers when you're playing those types of games?
To be No, not too much feedback really. People just kind of like to come in and chat with, especially with Days. It was a game that to stream where I didn't need to be really good at it to be entertaining. I thought most of it, I think, is just talking to people, really, getting to know them.
Yeah, that's certainly how you and I crossed paths for the first time, as I was just interested in the game that you were playing. And I think we were part of one of the same community servers at that point, so that was kind of how I got the lead in to watching your first streams.
What was the first thing on our broadcast that you watched? Was it an OOC or was it a one of the role-playing games that we were playing?
It was one of the Star Wars role-playing games.
Yeah, that was one of the first things we were talking about too, of course, was the Star Wars What If.
Yeah, my wife originally seen you guys playing, and then she knew I would be into it right away. And she came and told me, and then as soon as that happened, I came in, started watching it, and I've pretty well been here.
That's super cool, man. I know you're a big fan of the Star Wars What If. Would you say you like it better than Agent Orange, or I know Agent Orange has proved better than you thought it was going to, but which do you prefer?
I definitely prefer the Star Wars, but I do enjoy Agent Orange too. With the Agent Orange, since you guys have started, I haven't had like a really good day where I've been able to sit down and watch from beginning to end like I have with the Star Wars yet, though. So I guess we'll see what comes to fruition of that. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're coming up to the end of Agent Orange here pretty quickly, too, because it's just meant to be a very short and fast story. Star Wars is going to be more continuous, but it's still going to have that same quick pace.
And we all know the answer right off the bat. Obviously it's my character, Paul, but, in your own words, who is your favorite character in the Agent Orange series?
I'm really not sure. I mean, you guys have all been hilarious. I mean, when you guys all left those people behind through the door or whatever, I thought that was all funny. Nobody was going to be the hero that day. I don't know if I have a favorite, just because I'm so bad with names, but all you guys together have been great. There's just a chemistry of all you guys playing together, and it just works for you guys. I don't know how to describe it, and you guys all also make me feel very welcome in the chat, and like I'm a part of it, and that's great too. I really enjoy coming to watch you guys.
We're super glad to see you in the chat every time we go live on a stream, and that's like almost every time I can count on it. I'm looking over and I'm like, oh, there's CJ, super awesome. And just as frequently, of course, is his wife in the chat right now. I am just a wife, and she wants us to ask you how excited you were when you found us.
I was very excited because I've never met a group of people that did like the role-playing Dungeon and Dragons style games, the tabletop games and stuff. So I really had no idea about it. I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and since the two were together, it's been a big learning experience for me. So I was really excited actually, and that's how come I'm there all the time. You know, like even if I can't watch, I try and have you guys running. And just to catch bits and pieces of what I can and to say what I can in chat, you know, it's good seeing you guys.
Yeah, that's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, J-Man.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's awesome. Yeah, it's always good to have a fan in there to interact with us and give us like feedback and even ideas about stuff we're doing, and especially somebody who's new to the to that kind of game, because you know then we can kind of explain what we're doing as we're going along and maybe help other people who might not have the drive to ask those questions that maybe you would ask.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty much the exact route that I was going down. Just I was going to also elaborate on that. This is kind of... It's something that CJ has said several times as well, which of course for any of us who are truly like super RU crew here, like that's the dream, is we want to have a lot of fans in the chat log, not only conversing off of what we're doing in the game, but also building their own friendships among themselves, building a community under the Role Playing Unlimited banner, so it can become so much more expansive than just the 5 or 6 of us that kind of rotate in and out of the actual games themselves. We want to really expand our community, and you're kind of the first part of that.
That's great, and I mean, I really do want to try playing. I still feel like I don't understand everything the greatest yet, but I definitely do want to, you know, get my feet wet a little bit and try playing with you guys one time. I don't know if I want to do it on stream though, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see if you talk me into it.
Yeah.
Well, the best part about, you know, playing a role-playing game is you don't need to know all the mechanics beforehand. You just have to have the desire to role play, to have fun, and the mechanics comes with time, and it's just a matter of, you know, we all know the mechanics well enough that, you know, if you do have a question during the game or you don't know where to look or what to do, you know, we're always there to help guide you.
Oh, exactly. And he's kind of speaking off of some conversations that I've had with him and some other people who've shown interest in Role Playing Unlimited but don't have really any RPG tabletop experience background. And I've just been kind of toying around this idea, and you guys know about it as well, of let's try doing a play with viewers kind of thing, where we have a couple people, maybe as many as 3 from the actual crew itself, and then we have 3 open seats at the table for people who want to just kind of come in, play for the night with us, play for an hour, play for 15 minutes, whatever works for them. Of course, we're going to have some pretty outlandish storytelling to explain why a potential influx of people are coming in and coming out, but it is role-playing games in general, and whether you're playing Agent Orange or Star Wars or D&D, there's a way to explain it in a way that maybe makes somewhat sense. I guess D&D would be the easiest way to do it. Agent Orange might be the hardest way, unless the way that people are coming and going is on the understanding that once you leave the tabletop, it means that your character has been eaten by a zombie. So now when other people are coming in, they're just bringing in new survivors, and as they leave, they're devoured.
You know, I mean, between the 3 of us, I could say we have almost 100 years of gaming experience amongst all 3 of us.
That is very true.
Are you trying to say I'm old?
Well, I'm trying to say some of us are old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would think Agent Orange would probably be the most difficult one to explain that, but I always think, you know, Star Wars, it's a big galaxy, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. And you kind of have to play it more with, like a what is it, the MMO for Star Wars? What is it, the High Republic, the Old Republic, the something Republic, Old Republic? You kind of have to play it in that style, where it's just kind of an open table, and there's a common gathering area where people can just kind of meet up with new crew members to go out and tackle a mission or two. Maybe it's not so much of a continuous storyline as just a bunch of free-form missions, some of which are connected to each other.
Yeah, and even if like you've got your three main crew members who have their own ship, who ferry people from different locations and end up getting into these random adventures while they're going from here to there. I mean, it's just a great way to just bring people together, give them a taste of what it is. Anybody who wants to join on long term has that opportunity. But those people who want to just do short term, there's a lot of great ways that we can help bring role playing to other people.
Oh yeah, the digital realm gives so many different possibilities to make that happen nowadays.
I mean, I know there's a big writing aspect to it for you guys too. I'm kind of curious to have that where people come in and out. How would you go about like writing something for that? Because I mean, you do a very good job with your storylines and the details and everything. And I've never seen something like that where somebody's in and out. Because all my experience has been through watching you guys, really. So how would you go about writing in something like that? Just an example. It doesn't have to be a great story just here for me right now, But I'm just curious.
J-Man, I'm going to let you field that one.
I do definitely prefer having a solid, stable group that's always there all the time. Don't have to worry about people in and out because I don't have to worry about NPCing people. I do have ideas about how to do it in that vein that we were talking about, having maybe a couple, 3 long-term PCs, and then having those other ones that may be coming in 1 or 2 games at a time. And it would be somewhat similar to like what Dan was saying with the MMO. It would have to be like, you'd have to be able to write an adventure or module, if you will, that can be played in one session, because you might not have those players for more than one session. So they would have to be able to come in, do whatever intro roleplay needs to be done, go down the quest line, do 1, 2, maybe 3 battles, depending on how quickly you can get them done, till it comes to a crescendo, and then the adventure's finished. You wrap up the role play, and they're done. It'll probably be a good 4 hours, if not more, to get something like that done. But yeah, it would be interesting. It could be done. You would just have to write in a very efficient module, and you have to keep people on track to be able to get it done quickly.
See, I'm actually dating myself here a lot, but I would look at it as almost like an episode of Fantasy Island. You have Mr. Rourke, you have Tattoo, and the plane. But you have all these guest celebrities who come in, onto your island, and they go through their adventure. And Mr. Rourke and Tattoo are the tour guides for this adventure. So you could do something similar with, hey, we have our own space transport company where we transport people. So it's like we're going from base station A to Tatooine. And, when we get you to Tatooine, we drop you off at the starport and that's it, and you're done. However, something may happen along the way. We may have some engine malfunction where your characters now become part of trying to figure out the solution to that, or we get attacked by pirates on the way and they become involved in that combat. So there's a lot of little aspects that we could do for those kind of one-shots.
Absolutely. And just to go back to Don's earlier comment, I would say it's a challenge worthy of a group of level 100 adventurers, so to speak.
So in Star Wars, what would be your, if you were to make a character right now, not talking any mechanics or anything else like that, what style of character would you want to make?
Um, Sorry, I kind of feel like I gotta think. I don't want to say something like, oh, I'd like to be like a Mandalorian character, because everybody wants to be a Mandalorian character. You know what I mean?
Do it!
I don't know. I probably want to try and be something different, but nothing too special. I'm not sure exactly, to be honest. I've never really given it any serious thought. I mean, um, maybe I should start writing and thinking about it.
Yeah, even just thinking about it, that's kind of how you get the tabletop role-playing in Bug. You just get that itch to start crafting characters, and then you'll find yourself making characters for no reason that you'll never play, just because you're enraptured with the system and you want to learn the mechanics of it. That's how it happens for so many people. Maybe not necessarily everybody. I know that was the case for many of us. We have truckloads of characters that we've never used before because we just created them just to see how the mechanics would play. And there's a lot of joy to be had in that. And I know for yourself, CJ, you are a big Star Wars fan, I believe, with a pretty wide breadth of knowledge, similar to myself. As I always look over here when I'm talking about Star Wars, because I've got like the 108 whatever novels of my Star Wars collection here. And I know CJ has read a lot of the novels too, which for me, that's always kind of a sign of, all right, so this fan's on a different level.
You mean there's novels and books on this stuff?
Somebody wrote the book.
Yeah, but they can't all be canon, can they?
Not anymore. Or maybe they can, as they're reinventing the old canon. I hear Mara Jade's coming back.
How do you think the Mandalorian? Have you watched the Mandalorian? As he asks knowingly.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched. I watched season 1 and 2, and basically after that, we had to get rid of Disney Plus, which is unfortunate. But I've watched some of the highlights of season 3, like where Luke Skywalker comes in and Boba Fett. I think that's season 3. I haven't been able to follow after that, but I wish I could. I mean, I watch as much as I can on YouTube, and I mean, Star Wars for me has always been. For me, Star Wars has always been. It's a place that you can get away and lose yourself in these stories in a galaxy far away. If your life might not be perfect, but it's some place that you can. It's almost like an escape to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like the fact that in Star Wars, it doesn't take everything super seriously. I mean, you really can't take yourself that seriously if you bring in the Ewoks. It's just one of those things where it's a friendly movie. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got, would you classify this as a science fiction film or more of a fantasy film?
I would say more fantasy. I think Star Wars, that's part of the illusion of it as well, is they distract you with all the cute, fluffy stuff and all the humor and stuff, and then they hit you with something real, like Anakin walks into the room. Master Skywalker, there's too many. What are we going to do? Brr. Oh. I saw something about that where somebody posted a PG-13 movie, which episode 3, I believe, is allowed one F-bomb in the movie. So where would you put it? And it was at that scene, the little kid looking up at Anakin's lightsaber. Fuck.
Or, hey, I got the high ground, bitch.
Yeah, Star Wars is definitely something that we can talk about always, and it tends to work its way into any stream that we're doing, regardless of even if it's meant to be an Agent Orange theme or a D&D theme, or we're talking about Baldur's Gate. All of a sudden something will come up with a Princess Leia reference or a Jar Jar something or other. And I know part of what we wanted to talk about as well is your life as a streamer, CJ. It's something that we've all gotten into on varying degrees. Some of us stream individually. We all stream together collectively as Role Playing Unlimited. It's definitely not without its challenges and a lot of self-promotion and just hard work and networking I know is required. But what have you found to be some of your greatest triumphs in your streaming life so far, and some of your bigger disappointments as well?
I gotta say, the triumphs was the first few viewers, and honestly, making the first few friends and people I met, like you guys, other streamers that I came and watched, and the ones that come and support me. I know I talked to a quite, now it's getting larger, a large group of people that are great. They come support me and I support them. I mean, on the downside though, there's also a lot of idiots out there, you know.
Yeah, you gotta sift through them, unfortunately. As you and I have discussed on more than one occasion, I have a lower threshold of patience with that kind of stuff. I guess I'm just like, I encounter... It's almost like one strike and you're out.
And you know what? I don't blame you at all, because you know, life's hard enough. You're trying to do something and you know, build communities and stuff, and you want to have a good time, and then you have somebody that just wants to come and kick it all down, you know?
Oh yeah,
It's almost like you know, if you're playing Ark on a PvP server, and everybody, all they want to do is they want to destroy your encampment,
right?
Just because it happens to be there.
Yeah, what the F?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's like sometimes. I think some people, I don't know, you know, I get pleasure out of seeing other people do well, and I mean, some people must just be the opposite, I guess. They just like to see people fail, and maybe it makes them feel better about themselves. But I like everybody around me to be doing good, and I mean, you guys are doing great, and I mean, I really think that all you guys are gonna go somewhere collectively. I mean, what you do seems I really don't know if it's original, but I mean, it seems so original to me, and you guys are very friendly, very welcoming group of guys. I mean, to have me on here talking, I mean, I was really nervous about even coming on, to be honest. But you know, you guys have been all good about it. I don't know if I've said anything stupid yet, but I mean, you'll let me know after, I'm sure.
Saying stupid stuff is my job. Actually, that's the reason why I'm one of the co-hosts, is because, you know, I take care of most of the stupid stuff that gets said on here.
Oh man, we all have our fair share of stupid at times. I definitely am accountable for my fair share.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, we're super thrilled to have you on here, just as much as you're glad to be on here as well, and we certainly appreciate your premonitions about the future of Role Playing Unlimited. That's definitely the dream for all of us here. We want to definitely build this into something bigger. We haven't even done as part of Role Playing Unlimited, which is ironic because the original name... Well, I don't want to get long-winded and talk myself in a circle, but the original name was Enemir Online, and at the last minute I pulled the plug and went back to Role Playing Unlimited, which was an older name that I had used for our group. And we've collectively been streaming under that, but Enemir is the homebrew campaign D&D world that we've all been playing in together for 20 plus years, and that was always intended to be like the big thing with Role Playing Unlimited. Like, we're playing this homebrew campaign world, which in our community everybody's got a homebrew campaign world, so it's not necessarily that original, but I think what makes it original is the fact that we all built it collectively. We've been playing in it for as long as we have, and there's so many different stories during that time, each of which have their own kind of theme, and they take place over hundreds of years of the chronology. And that's always been the big reveal for Role Playing Unlimited, which ironically we're 6+ months into it now, and we still haven't even done any of the Enemir stuff, but it's coming one day. That's definitely part of the play with viewers idea that I want to do. Is I want to use that as a way to build our community, bring new people into tabletop role playing, and then also kind of start introducing people to Enemir.
Yeah, it's like in some of the characters that we've created and things like that live on in our memories like forever, like Marcel de Brenz, the bard who turned into a god eventually. Um, but it's just one of those things where these characters come to life in your own mind, including my absolute favorite character, Denshar. And
Oh.
if you've never seen any of that play, you're truly missing out.
Yeah, Denshar was fun. I think I almost saw a twinkle in Justin's eye there, though, when you mentioned that Marcel had ascended to godhood, almost like a twinkle of, I had two characters ascend to godhood.
Well, not only that, but his Marcel became a god in my continent.
Oh, yeah. Part of the eastern side or whatever. I mean, Enemir is as big as a freaking solar system, apparently, so it could be literally right next door, and it's still a gazillion miles away.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories still has to be like our Hackmaster tournament, where my druid was fighting James's fighter, and we were allowed to design our own arenas. So I designed an arena, James designed an arena, and then Dan designed his own arena in case it went to a third match. And my druid, using 3E rules, was able to change into a goldfish, swim under this little pond, hit him with a harm spell, drop him down to 4 hit points, and then hit him with a call of lightning. And that ended that combat real quick.
Yeah, that's an impressive enough feat in and of itself. What makes it, I think, quadruply impressive is the fact that we're epic level characters, and James is playing a straight up orc fighter with Constitution 30 plus. I'll never forget, he had 496 hit points. And you come up to him and touch him with one spell, no save, and all of a sudden he's down to 4 hit points. I think it was 3 hit points, actually, because he rolls a d4, and that's how many he has left.
Right, and then the call of lightning is a dexterity save for half, and I was doing enough damage that there was nothing he could do about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 4 dice 6 damage or 5 dice 6, so nothing incredible, but when he's only got 3 hit points left, it's like, alright, you take half of 20. Now let me get back to the other side of the streaming life question there for CJ. You talked about some of your happy moments, the greater triumphs. What are some disappointments, if any, that you've run into? I know for myself, and these guys will attest, I mean, I've run into many of them myself, and I'm not terribly shy about venting my frustrations to them on more than one occasion.
No, not you, Dan. You are so, self-contained and never say a negative thing.
I'm also pretty damn self-aware, so it's two sides of the same coin. But for myself, I've definitely encountered some difficulties, I think compounded by other things going on, and I don't necessarily contain things in their own thing. It's all just kind of one bundle that is my life, and I don't know if that's good or not, but this isn't a self-help show, so we'll go off in another direction here. Back to, did you have any disappointments in your streaming life?
I haven't had any major disappointments. Just some smaller ones. I mean, sometimes it can be disappointing to see new people come in and then they leave right away, and you never see them again, and you might think you're doing a bad job or something like that. Maybe you're not interesting enough, or you weren't talking enough. Things like that. I mean, I guess when you put yourself out there to the world, especially you guys, you're on camera too. I know I couldn't get mine working before the show. You really put yourself out there before everybody and open yourself up to a lot of criticism, and a lot of that can be directed at yourself too, worrying about if you're doing everything good enough,
Yeah.
Things in that direction, but nothing specific and major so far, which is good,
Oh, absolutely. If you haven't run into too many huge difficulties in your streaming life so far, I commend you. You're either a very chill person or very lucky, or just things are working out in whatever respect. And that's not to say things aren't working out for us. We're happy to play, we're happy to put on the show, we're happy to step out of character and just kind of chat it up among ourselves about some of our stories, meet new people through this format as well. Last week we had Greg. We got to hear some amazing and funny stories from him. I've been thinking about that Evil Knievel story multiple times throughout the week. Just, man, that is freaking cool. Good on you, Greg. And tonight we got CJ. So it's just cool to have these different formats. It's not that we're discontented with anything. There's highs, there's lows, and that's just life in general. Now back to... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to...
Uh-oh, we lost him again.
Sorry, there we go. I haven't put any, I try not to worry about my viewership numbers and stuff, and just kind of take things as they come, really. I mean, sometimes you think about it, but, I try not to set expectations of myself or of other people. That's kind of how I look at it with other people, I don't want to...
Yeah, for sure. I want to say, at this point, I've settled into, at least over the last few weeks, maybe like a 50-50, where there's sometimes some expectation and it can be frustrating to not meet it, but then other times it's just, you know what, we're just playing, we're just having fun, let's just do it. Agent Orange has been very relaxing in that regard. Star Wars What If. Before that, likewise, I think we've kind of settled into a style of play that works for our usual expectations, but also for a good streaming format as well, so we're not just constantly bogged down in mechanics. But we can get that way. Like in the Baldur's Gate, we've had several combats that are just all night long. It's just combat, just rolling dice, moving tokens, and there's a lot of fun to be had in that as well.
Would you guys be cool with going more into character creation and stuff? Because now that I'm here and talking to you guys, more, it's in a more personal way. I feel I'm not just typing. I'm really interested in if I were to create a character, what are some things I have to think about as far as gameplay goes? You know what I mean?
Right. I'd say the only real thing you need to know, because if you already know a lot of the Star Wars lore, you know the different species, you know the different clans, the different factions. The only mechanic you really need to know are the, 5 classes? Noble, Scoundrel, Soldier, Scout, and Jedi. And just, you have to kind of look at those different classes, maybe read the first few paragraphs of what their general description is, and see which of those classes meshes with which species, which faction you want to play for your character. And from that, everything just kind of starts coming together of its own accord. Once you've got your race and class, as we call it in D&D, because it's races in D&D, it's species in Star Wars. Once you've got that, a lot of the story can kind of start creating itself. Sometimes you have to actually work and put stuff together, but other times it's just, man, did I really create this? It just kind of came out of nowhere.
I mean, it might be difficult, to visualize some character combinations, maybe like a Wookiee diplomat, but it's would be something different, something unique. You have to look at the way that you would like to see a character play. Do you want your character be more sneaky or straightforward when it comes to combat? Do you want them to be more talk it out type person? Do you want to be like a Jedi, just swinging the lightsaber around? It just depends on what your base is on that. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, especially for a new player who doesn't really know the system. There are definitely people out there who can build a character based on what I want the character to do mechanically. I want to have this kind of attack. I want to have this kind of defense. And that's a viable way of building a character, but you really have to know the system well to do it that way. For most other people, what I say is, envision what kind of character you want to play. Like, Do you want to be a Han Solo character? Do you want to be a Luke Skywalker? Do you want to be a Din Djarin? You know, and when you have that vision in your mind, we can then go ahead and say, okay, based on what you said you want to play, I think you should play a human soldier or a Weequay scout or whatever the case may be. And we can guide, and those who are more knowledgeable about the mechanics of that system can guide you into the choices mechanically to make the character you want that you have envisioned real in the game.
See, unlike my other two companions over here, I am very limited in book knowledge of the different races, the different species, and things like that. I mean, it may not show it when I'm playing because I have, the books in front of me, I have the mechanics, and there's a lot of talk back and forth before we start. So, and there's a lot of Google searching. A lot of Google searching.
I still have to Google search and Wikipedia search myself because there's just so much Star Wars out there that it's not so much a discovery mission, it's a remembrance mission. It's like just seeking through the library of lore. Okay, I remember this character did something, and I think it was in this book here. Yeah, here it is.
It's like...
Yeah, I totally get what you mean.
Yeah, one time I wanted to, I was designing a sneaky character, and I'm going, hey, this race sounds good, and it's like, this is the most unsneaky race I could ever imagine, and I can't even remember the name of it, but it's like big, bulky, doesn't move well.
Was it a Hutt?
No, I know a Hutt from the movies.
Jocasta knew. Nice.
The records are not incomplete.
We're getting some audio stuff on your end there, Justin. I think just because of the placement of your headset.
What kind of audio stuff you get?
It's kind of like as you turn, like it's picking up different levels of your voice because you're moving, but the headset is not, I think.
Possibly, yeah. I'll try to keep it focused. Did that answer your questions, CJ, or did you want some more information?
No, that definitely did. I was gonna say I'll definitely have to DM you later, Dan, and get some more details on the mechanics because as far as species and lore and stuff goes, I got that side of things. It's more the mechanics, like
right.
when you guys are playing and you say you want to use your perception roll or something like that is
right.
Is what I need information on then. But I'm gonna get you to guide me on that because I do want to try and create a character, see how it goes for me now. I'm getting more and more interested as you guys are talking about it.
Oh, for sure.
Just as an idea, if you're comfortable with it, and Dan wants to do it, do a stream. Stream the creation of your new character, and that way, it will bring more interest, and other people who may be in the same situation who want to create a character who's never has, will have an option to see someone brand new working with a veteran to make this happen.
That could be pretty cool. I mean, as far as like weird character combinations, I mean, one of the last Star Wars games we did, I played a Gungan who was like a sniper and bounty hunter. So it was definitely different.
Yeah, he was pretty cool too.
I was gonna say that sounds like a really cool idea, actually. So yeah, other people that have no idea, kind of like I do about that side of things, can see how it's done. And I mean, if I make mistakes along the way, I'm sure people will forgive me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's part of one of the ways that the digital format of Roll20 and online role-playing games, it's gonna assist you on levels that you probably haven't considered yet at this point, because in traditional tabletop gaming, you have to write out everything on your character sheet, you have to actually roll the die and then look for the spot on the sheet, apply the appropriate modifiers. It's a bit of back and forth, just the same thing as you've seen on the streams. But when you're playing with the character sheets that are already hardwired into Roll20, everything you're just putting in numbers, and then there's a button. So when I tell these guys make a perception roll, they're literally just pushing a button. And then I just look at the results that the digital dice have generated, compare that against the number that I've conceived in my head, and we just continue the story from there. It's super convenient.
Right.
It seems all of us wanted to jump in at the same time on that particular one.
I'll go last then. Go ahead, guys.
I was just trying to fill some dead air. That's the whole thing on that.
Yeah, so what did you want to say, CJ?
I forgot now. I was hoping.
Stupid push to talk. Stupid push to talk.
Oh, it didn't come through. I said I hope somebody else was gonna say something so that I could remember what I was gonna say.
Well, we're definitely excited to have our play with viewers here in the next few weeks. We do have the next few out of characters already planned. Next week we're going to be talking to Jason. Hopefully he's awake for that one, because the show is focused on him. It's the Ravencraft experience. If you've seen, I think he posts them just everywhere. Like, he is very handy, and he's created his own 3D terrain for his homebrew campaigns. He's created an entire setup for Halloween in front of his house. Like, there's tombstones and giant frickin' mummies and shit. I haven't actually committed all of it to memory, but it's a very impressive layout that he creates. And in general, he's just going to kind of go over some of his experiences in crafting, because I know eventually he wants to start streaming things along that nature. But a few weeks after that, after we wrap up everything on our out of character talk, we have another of Don's friends coming in as well, and we're going to talk to her. But after that, we will be doing our Play with Viewers stream, which is going to be pretty crazy, because I've done a lot of interactive and just improv campaigns throughout my life, but I feel like that was something that I was better at when I was younger. It's becoming a little harder to be so reactive, because we've all gotten so much smarter and so much wiser, and I'm not able to always keep up with your wily ideas all the time. Some nights I do better than others, so it's definitely going to be a very crazy experience, mixed with the fact that we're hopefully going to have some new players jumping in and experiencing all this for the first time themselves. So our mechanical adherence is going to be much less.
And I mean, it's going to put a lot of, a lot of restraint on us, because we are all dominant personalities when it comes to role playing. That to rein it back in for someone brand new to our group, because I know Justin's, the style that he plays. I know how the style James plays and how John plays. And, I can anticipate a lot of that stuff, and a lot of anticipation is going to be going by the wayside when we bring in brand new people. And as you can see, I try to dominate the conversation in this show also. So it's trying to hold some of that stuff back too.
Hey, that's something we're all prone to do. We all get a little long-winded with our explanations sometimes.
Except for Justin.
It's the quiet ones you gotta watch.
Well, I mean, it's not my fault that the long-winded Don is such a gas bag.
Wow, you shut him up. Oh.
I was going to make the same type of comment. It's like, from which end is the gas coming from?
Oh, man. Meanwhile, CJ's thankful that he's not on camera, because he's just like, what did I get myself into here?
No, I'm laughing along with you guys right now. You just can't hear me with the push to talk. That's all.
Oh, man.
So, if you weren't streaming video games, what would you want to stream otherwise?
I don't know. I like maybe fishing. Fishing.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, sorry, my push to talk went too. I was going to do like a tutorial on knife sharpening with stones, stuff like that. I mean, I'm kind of into survival stuff in real life too, but I'm injured now, so I can't get out as much as I'd like to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I do like the picture you sent us there, though. That is a mighty large one.
Yeah, my wife actually caught it. I just took the picture. Yeah, she did it
Nice.
good, eh?
Yeah, impressive. I think I caught a guppy once.
I
Yeah.
mean, you guys big into fishing or hunting or no?
Not so much hunting. I used to go fishing with my dad when I was a kid. I haven't been in a long time since. I definitely want to get back into fishing at some point here in the near future, though. It's got a tranquility to it that I think my life is sorely lacking at this point. What's up, Rain and Bleach? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm your typical nerd, and I used to go fishing with my grandfather as a kid, but I hated the touch of fish. You know, I could bait the hook, I could touch the worm, I could put the worm on the hook, but when it came to touching the fish afterwards, it was like, no, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, I used to do fishing with my family a lot. Haven't done it in a very long time, but I enjoyed it. It's fun. I like doing it.
Yeah, it's almost like it's fallen to the wayside for a lot of people.
Well, obviously here in Vegas, it's not like there's really a whole lot of fishing to do.
Right. My brother goes to Lake Mead frequently. He has a boat and he goes fishing a lot, but I don't know how much he actually catches or anything. I know it's his favorite pastime now.
Yeah, I was kind of I was gonna ask you guys how fishing is there. I mean, for me, I can literally walk down to the river and
Wow.
just go if I want to. So it's really easy for me. And I mean, I'm right on the Red River, so I mean, lots of bottom feeders there, so you don't need anything fancy. You can literally just tie something up on a string and huck it out there and pull a fish in. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
There's
awesome.
There's a lot of bottom feeders out here in Las Vegas too, but we're not talking fishing.
Yeah, Vegas is a whole other world, I swear.
I think though is that we've become such a technological, everybody's noses are in their phones and everyone's so plugged in electronically that I kind of envy you, CJ, with the ability to be able to go out and unplug from everything and get away from the stress of Facebook and all the social media and all this, and just spend some time in nature.
That's more what it's all about. Even if you go and I don't catch fish, it's just the stillness. Especially first thing in the morning, it seems the water is more still and it's quiet, and you see animals you wouldn't normally see coming out, like beavers and muskrats swimming across, and they're doing their thing. And
Nice.
it is very peaceful. Sorry, my push to talk, it keeps going off on me.
Hey, no worries, man. It's things like that I have in mind when I make comments like, man, I like Canada and I hate Vegas, or Dreamland of Canada, things of that nature, because it just seems like so untamed, and there's just so much area that you can get out to breathe, whereas being here in Vegas, as long as I have it, just everything is starting to feel more and more squished together and more like California every year, which feels even more squished together than it ever has before. It's crazy. And then, of course, Tragically Hip, my favorite band from your neck of the woods up there in Canada, they paint such vivid pictures of your country that just make it seem so tranquil and so peaceful that I'm just like, man, that just sounds lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I went pretty far up north for work and stuff, and there's nothing there. There's lots of trees. If you like lots of trees.
I mean, I think the furthest north I've ever been is Maine, because I'm originally from Connecticut. And I have relatives all the way up in Fort Kent, Maine, which is basically just across the river from Canada.
Oh, nice. I think the farthest north I've been was on a road trip with Justin like 20 years ago when we went up to Petaluma.
I mean, down there in Vegas, you guys have like desert, right? I mean, I have no idea what it looks like, but is there lots of
Yeah.
open desert for you guys to get out into and do something?
Sort of, not really in Vegas Valley anymore, but it's not too far to just drive out and have, desert land area.
Right. They are somewhat crafty with their landscaping now in recent years to where you can kind of find a cool park or a cool hiking trail that somewhat merges seamlessly with the traffic. Like you can go on a bike ride that goes mostly through some kind of wild desert stretches, but then you're all of a sudden on a pedestrian bridge going over a stretch of freeway.
Yeah, okay, I think I kind of understand what you're talking about. See, I don't know what I'd do out in open desert, but I think maybe like trapping or something could be something you could get into out there. I don't know what type of animals you guys got there or anything, but I mean, that's something that just comes to mind that I might want to get into if I was out there. Do lots of Google searches and figure it out.
Well, you can see lots of beavers on the strip. And
Oh my god. I would definitely say it depends on how well you can handle the heat, too, because I feel like any animal trapping is probably going to take place during the warmer months of the year, and then everything is kind of running away for the winter. I don't recall seeing too much during the winter, but I don't get out much. During the summer, though, I mean, it gets like 115 degrees out here some days.
How cool does it get in the winter?
We've had lows. We're talking Fahrenheit here, remember? We've had lows like 20s.
It snowed one time. Or twice. I think twice.
twice as far as, I've seen.
And
I've been out here 25 years.
Yeah, I've been out here 40, so I think it snowed a third time when I was in elementary school, but I was too damn young to remember it.
I guess the snow never stuck around at all. It melted the same day, or did it hang around for a little bit?
No, it's about 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, it depends on what part of the valley you were in.
Yeah, I live up in Summerlin, which is closer to the mountain, and it's stuck around a little bit up here.
Yeah, I remember when we got the snow in 03, my old friend Andy and we stayed up all night because we were just so excited. Like, holy crap, when are we ever going to get a chance to build a snowman again? So we stayed up till like 5 in the morning building this freaking snowman right out in front of our house. And then the next morning we come out and somebody had already taken a baseball bat to its head and the thing was just in pieces.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
You know what, though? We have experienced snow playing LARP, up at Mount Charleston. The ground was a little frosty, and you can see your breath and everything.
The black ice, yeah, that stuff was killer.
Yeah, that's a tall mountain. It's going to get snow.
I mean, man, when we get some snow in winter, I'll have to send you guys some pictures so you could see it here. I mean, we get feet. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you can't get to the corner store. It gets so bad.
Yeah, I'm shocked you're not already buried in snow as it is in November.
Surprisingly, we've had none yet. Lots of the time for Halloween, we'll have a foot of snow already. So actually, it was really nice for the kids to get out without having to trek through the snow, door to door.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're getting, cooler summers and warmer winters now?
In Canada, for trick-or-treating, they hand out snow cones because they stay, as you're walking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
So what is something... Well, we did ask who your favorite character from Agent Orange was. Did you have a favorite from the Star Wars campaign? I know it's been a while since we've even played them, so it might just be the Chiss. I don't know. Like, did you have a favorite from that campaign?
I mean, I don't like to pick favorites. And I mean, a lot of the times when I watch you guys play the campaigns, it makes it even more difficult because I'm bad at remembering, like, who plays what. So it's kind of, I just see you guys and you're that character. You know what I mean?
This brings up an idea though, and it's kind of you inspired this, CJ. What if you had a cut and paste intro of what each character, like a paragraph blurb it of each character and who plays it, and we pop it up in the chat before each game, and that way when someone tunes in, they'd be able to see who's playing what and a little basic synopsis of the character.
Yeah, that would help big time actually for, dummies like me, No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that would help big time for me because, I always see your guys' faces, right? So sometimes it's hard for me to relate it to the character.
Yeah, and that's a great idea, something we can easily add in during the opening stream setup. Those few minutes where it's just music playing. So yeah, great idea there for show. CJ, your favorite game to stream is Days. What is your most memorable story from that game? I know you've had a lot of big ones lately. You've been posting like a daily diary of your character, which I think is super freaking cool. Like that's the kind of thing I've done with video games in the past, just kind of as a way to make it even more in-depth for yourself. So let's give us some cool Days stories, man.
The diary bit was actually for The Long Dark, and I mean, okay, I'll go into Days there. Days, a lot of my favorite stories would be like gunfights and stuff. I mean, I can't even pick one off the top of my head. I got so many videos and stuff I want to add onto YouTube, and there's just been so many for me. And the diary bit for The Long Dark, it does that I do enjoy doing, and I started writing that because I'm playing one day, maybe 2 days a week, and it helps me remember where my stuff is. Because a lot of the time with that game, I might, drop something somewhere and say, I'll come back and get it later, and if I lose it, I'll die, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. Cool addition.
Actually, recently on Days, I met a guy from the UK named Carlos, and that's an interesting thing. That's pretty well what keeps me coming back to Days is player interaction with other people. It seems like Days is a game where when you meet somebody, you meet their true self because there's no rules to the game, right? And I mean, originally when I did see Carlos at first, I was gonna shoot him and kill him and take his stuff, but he looked fresh at the time. He didn't have any weapons or anything, so I decided to say hi instead, and we actually went on a great adventure together, and it's awesome. And that's what I like about the game. Stuff like that, You're not forced to be nice to people, but you can be, and sometimes you get betrayed. I mean, I've been shot in the back after going on an adventure with people.
Yeah, I've experienced the same thing with like Fallout 76, and when I first started playing that, it was pretty rough at the beginning because they had the open PvP, and anybody could just shoot you for any reason, and you're walking out of the vault, a nice little level 2, level 3, and all of a sudden these level 100, 150 guys are shooting you. Just because.
Yeah, what can they possibly hope to get from you?
Right? You have nothing when you come out.
Oh, look, he's got 30 bottle caps. Get him!
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I mean, one time I was sitting in this place. Sorry, I was sitting in this place called Green Mountain having a fire and cooking some meat, and somebody came up outside the door, which I had locked. And they were all friendly, and they said they needed medication and stuff. They were sick and coughing. So I opened the door, give them medication and stuff, food and everything. And then they tied me up and shot me afterwards.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I mean, anytime you trust somebody on the game, you're always taking that risk, right? You don't know if somebody's going to shoot you in the back or what's going to happen.
Yeah, you need a crew.
Yeah, for sure. And one's been developing. I see actually a recent follower. You got Gypsy King. I was just playing with him today. That's I'm glad he actually came in to come check it out.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see have that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing. See where some of our followers come from. So yeah, thanks for that, man.
I mean, don't think. I just posted it in Discord and said, come check it out if you're into this thing or if you're thinking about it. And it's nice to see that he came over here and dropped a follow. I'm going to have to say something to him later.
Heck yeah.
Bacon.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, thank you so much, CJ, for being here tonight, reminiscing over some of your Role-Playing Unlimited favorite moments or just memorable moments. Same thing with the day's stories and just the general chit-chat back and forth, man. It's been great to actually chat with you outside of the text for a change.
Yeah, I definitely would like to come back on in the future when my setup is better. Because right now it's kind of hard for me right now with the push to talk. It keeps shutting off mid-sentence and stuff. But definitely in the future, I'd like to come back and hopefully chatting will be easier and stuff, and I can focus more on the conversation bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I only wish that James had managed to come to the show tonight because he would definitely be able to exist with you on that same level of, yeah, dude, this the push to talk never freaking works for me. I'm always trying to use it on my phone, and I'm in mid. Did you guys get the rest of that? It's just every single time he tries to say something, he gets cut off on the backside of it. So his conversations pretty much have to be yes, no.
Yeah. Hopefully next time I can come back, then I'll have something better, a better way to do this. And you know, I feel like I maybe got cut off at some parts that, you know, things didn't come out right, but I think you guys kind of understand that I didn't, you know.
Oh yeah, I think it worked. Everything worked great. So yeah, nothing to be sorry about or disappointed about. Everything worked fine. And J-Man, thank you so much for being here tonight. Evil Dawn, thank you so much.
Glad to be here. Good to talk with CJ, and definitely look forward to having you on again.
Yeah,
Heck
I
yeah.
second that remark. It's, you know, wonderful having you over, CJ, and it's great always seeing your conversations in the side. And, you know, feel free always ask any questions you want during the streams, and we'll be more than happy to answer them for you or catch you up on something that you might be confused on.
Will do. And it was definitely talking to you guys actually for the first time talking, you know, back and forth like this. It was very nice. So thanks for having me on, everybody.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And special thanks to I'm Just a Wife, both for being here tonight in the chat, but also for bringing CJ along to Role-Playing Unlimited in the first place. We're so happy to have both of you here each and every week. Hey, Rain and Bleach, thank you so much for dropping in tonight. I hope you all have a great evening, a great weekend coming up, and we will catch you hopefully next Tuesday with Agent Orange across the Pecos. Are you with us?